Hello everybody, how are you doing? It's been a little more than a week, but I did not let it run near as long as last time. Today is, Tuesday, September 12th, I believe. Of course it's like 1 in the morning, so it's super early. I'm at work again. And I'm going to kind of jump right into things tonight. And I'm going to do the stitchy stuff first, and then everything else at the end. So those of you that don't like to listen to all the hoopla about people's lives and the things they like, you can choose to shut it off after I get the cross-stitching stuff done. So I have whips, I have finishes, no haul. So let's do this. I started out September pretty strong. This last, 5 days or so, not so much. For 2 reasons. First, I was focusing on a finish. And 2, I had a lot going on outside of stitching. Life was just kind of bonkers. And I'll get to that later if you care to listen. So, my first thing I worked on this month was Hello Kitty, and the lighting is really bad because it's the middle of the night, but hey, it keeps me from waiting another week to get a video done because I'll be at work all week. So pretty much on her, there was just a lot of white. I finished up the bow. I think it had a little bit left to do, and then the white, and I gave her eyes and her nose. But there was just a lot of... I was actually having a hard time because I was getting really bored that night of stitching nothing but white on white. But she's getting there. So, I did almost 1,000 stitches on her that night. Almost. So, the next I worked on... This is called Nest is Blessed. And, it was out of a cross-stitching magazine. But before, I had just this top little corner here. And now this is completed. This is exactly how wide it is going to be here, from here to here. I got the top pretty much lined out. And I was missing colors, so this isn't filled in. These aren't filled in because it started going down this way. And I've gotten those colors now, but of course I probably won't work on it again until next month, but it's at least got some progress on it. So I did a little over 500 stitches on that one. And part of that was because I was constantly changing colors, because I don't allow myself to count very far, because I'll mess it up. I will. I know I will. So I try and just grab the next color, do what I can, pick that color back up when I get to it. Okay, then next I worked on Easter tree, and I got less than 500 stitches done on this one, but again, it's because there's so many color changes and trying to figure out really where I'm going next, because I started in the middle of the pattern. None of the pages are completely complete. There's spaces. Hold this so maybe you can see it a little better. And there's a lot of colors in this. But I had this piece of the egg done because I started in this bottom corner here. And I had this egg done and I had this flower done, and I went till I got all the way to the end of the page over here and then started going down. So you're starting to be able to see that it's a tree. You can see the branch right there. There's another little Easter egg, a little flower. You're starting to be able to see it a little bit more. When I'm in the groove of it, I really enjoy it, but sometimes the breaks in between, I start to lose my thought process, and I don't know. It makes it a little more difficult, but I really like it. Okay, the next one I worked on was a Pokemon Haunter, and I was able to finish it. It took about 585 stitches to get him finished. So he is all done. I'm not sure how I'm going to fully finish him, especially considering his hands are not attached. But I'll figure it out. I haven't even showed my son yet. It's for him, and I haven't showed him that it's done. So the last one is the one, okay, so like September 1st, September 2nd, September 3rd, September 4th, or 5th, somewhere in there. I started this next one immediately and worked on it as much as I could, and I didn't get it finished, but I was close. I had run out of a couple colors too, and so then as I was able to, over the busy weekend that I had, I was trying to throw in as many stitches as I could here and there, because the person that I'm giving it to, their birthday is Thursday, I believe, and no, Wednesday, the 13th. And I know it won't make it to her on time, but at least it will make it just a couple days late, and you know, I can at least tell her, hey, it's on the way, I didn't forget. So I finally finished Cat Trio, and I have to say, I am absolutely in love with this. Like, I almost don't want to give it up. It is so adorable. Now, I do want to show you, let me pull up my phone, what this pattern was supposed to look like. If it will allow me to show you, we'll see. Because I did do some color changes, and I don't know, I just feel like mine pops more. Okay, let's see if I can, you can kind of see that. And they had the front corner of it blocked, which I thought that was kind of crazy. But, yeah. Maybe if I turn it this way. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. So, this is what it's supposed to look like originally. And the little kitten in front, which you can barely see, is the same colors as the background. But I didn't do that. And I've said this before, I know, but look at how much that little kitty pops against the green and the brown with the blue background. And I did change the hearts up a little bit. But I absolutely love the way it came out. And when I went to do the back stitching, so much of the back stitching I've been doing on my other projects, it's one strand. And so I thought it was one strand. Well, when I looked at the pattern, it's three. It's 3 strands. But I love the thick lines on it. Almost like it's outlined in marker before it's colored in. I really like the way it turned out. It's adorable. So, I'm going back and forth on the fully finished for this. I will take a picture and have it on my Instagram, because you won't see this one again. It's going in the mail as soon as possible. So, I'll take a picture of the fully finished before I ship it. So, that is it for my stitching. Look how fast that was. Less than 10 minutes. So, if you're not interested in anything else, move along. Shut off my video and go find a better one. So now I'm going to do my flavor of the week and then tell you about my week. My flavor of the week, of course I tell you about books, TV shows, things like that. I did find a new Flosstuber to watch this week, because I have been watching some more Flosstube. And she is brand new. Like, she just posted her second video yesterday. Her Flosstube name, is Reading and Stitching, which of course appeals to me because I do both those things. Of course, I feel like most stitchers read and stitch. I've found very few that don't talk about reading in some capacity. But anyways, her Flosstube name is Reading and Stitching. She's brand new to Flosstube. She's been blogging for a long time about cross stitching and such. but this is her first time on Flosstube, and I was glad to see that she came back and made a second video. So you definitely want to check her out. I'm going to link her below, and show her our Stitchy community love. She's a high school teacher too, so I feel like she might be a little crazy. I don't know that I could teach high school students, but very good videos. Go and watch those. My old Flosstuber, again, they're not old. They're old. They're one of... Before I started this, they were people I was already subscribed to. Let's get that straight. I'm not calling them old. I'm not calling their channel old, anything like that. This particular Flosstuber, first, she was one of the first videos I ever found. I wouldn't say she's the first, but she was... Flosstube, itchy nose. Okay, she was one of the first, and I've followed her. I watch her videos all the time. On top of that, we're Instagram buddies now, and we've been talking on Instagram, and she comments on my videos. It makes me so excited because, like I've said before, I feel like I'm becoming friends with a celebrity. So anyway, without further ado, Stitching May. I will link her down below. I love everything about her videos, and I've been watching them for a really long time, so check her out. Next, this week I watched the movie Rough Night. It's about a bachelorette party gone seriously wrong, and it is adults only. You do not want to let your children watch this show, but it's hilarious. It's real lighthearted. I mean, if you know you just had a rough week and you just need something that's not dramatic and not actiony, and it's a good movie. It's worth the watch. And of course Scarlett Johansson's in it, and I absolutely adore her, so I had to. The TV show, I'm still working on Mistresses, here and there as I can. I'm working on NCIS. I'm in season 12, and there's 14 out already, and 15 is going to be starting any day now. I believe it's September 28th, maybe. Anyway, it starts soon. There are days when I feel like I'm never going to get caught up on this show, and it bores me a little bit, and then they'll have this one episode that I absolutely love, stuff that characters say or how they interact with each other, and I'm like, oh, I love this show. So I'm working on it. Nothing special. I am still working on Heartless. I have gotten a lot more read. I'm more than halfway through the book. I still feel like I don't really know where it's going. Like, I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. It's definitely pulling me in more now than it was when I first started reading it and first started telling you I was reading it. But I'm not quite sure where the story's going, so we'll see. If I'm looking over here, it's because that's my notes. So that's all I've got for my flavor of the week. Life update. So I'm not sure if any of y'all are aware. I joined Cross Stitch and Discuss first. Was my first cross stitch group. A little over 3 years ago. A little bit. I had only been with the group for maybe a month, and then the trailer we were living in burnt to the ground, and it was very traumatic, and everyone got out fine. You know, it was just that we lost everything, and all my cross stitching up until that point, which wasn't a lot because I wasn't a hardcore cross stitcher back then, and the group, like, I let them know that our trailer burned down, and it was this, you know, I had tons of outpouring of love. I had a lot of stuff come in the mail, Stitchy Kindness, to help so I could start cross stitching again before I could afford to going by my own things, and it meant a lot to me. Well, a couple months after that happened, and I should say I was living with my father-in-law. We bought a new trailer, and we were all living together in the trailer. Me and my husband, our 2 kids, and my father-in-law. About 6 months ago, we moved into our own house, which we're currently renting in town. But my kids still stay with my father-in-law when I work, when me and my husband both work. So Saturday, I was on my way to work, and I stopped by my mother-in-law to talk to her, and she's like, first of all, Ryan is fine. Ryan is my son. And I was like, okay, well, what happened? Because, as I've said before, he has lots of medical issues, so I didn't know if he had fallen, if whatever. She said the trailer burnt down again. The brand new one that they've had not even 3 years. And my son was in the house when it started, but he got out just fine. But it's all he can talk about right now. I'm so glad I made it out. It's been crazy and hectic since then, because now my father-in-law is displaced. He's staying with us right now, and it burned almost his entire trailer. Like, his bedroom didn't actually burn, but everything in there, of course, is melted or smoke damaged really bad. It also destroyed a travel trailer that was right behind his, and a storage building that had been there since my husband was a kid, that had a bunch of stuff in it. Right next to that is a travel trailer that I own that we rent out to a friend of ours, and it did not get damaged, but there's no power out there because it burned the power pole, and they were working on trying to get the water turned back on because it was connected to the power pole. So he's staying with us too until we can get his trailer with power and water and all that. So my house is hectic and crazy because there's my husband, myself, and our 2 kids, the roommate, friend, my father-in-law is staying there, and then on the weekends when my mother-in-law works, she stays there too. So it's been a hectic mess. On top of that, my daughter had her softball tournament in Abilene this past weekend, and so I was out of town, hence the lovely sunburn. Am I rocking it? Yeah. I mean, they had back-to-back games all day Saturday, and so it was hectic, but it was a lot of fun. I got to get out of the craziness of the house where there's a lot of people, and it was just my daughter and I. My son stayed home with his grandfather, and we had Starbucks. We went to dinner as a team. We played at the pool in the hotel, and it was just a really fun weekend. But of course, fun weekends mean no stitching, and they mean no videos. So life is, I'm trying to get back into the groove of things and deal with the aftermath. So that's my life update. Oh, also, turns out I'm going to be buying a house. I'm really excited about this. Like, I have to calm myself down or else I'll start screaming at y'all. But the house we've been renting since January, we will be buying it here very soon. So I'm really excited about that. It's not a huge home. It's pretty small, but it's perfect for us. I mean, really, at this point, anything else is just more to clean. We live 2 blocks from my kids' school. I actually stood out on my back porch on Friday night and listened to the football game. I didn't even have to go. I could just listen to it. And we won. We're 2-0 this season. So, I'm new to the football fandom. But I'm trying to learn because I live in a town where football is the big thing. I'm sure a lot of people know, like, the Friday Night Lights. It's all about football here in West Texas. That's where I live. Odessa. If you've seen the movie Friday Night Lights, it's about the Odessa Panthers. That's like 50 miles from my house. So football is very important out here. So I'm really excited because I feel like it's a good location and it's a perfect house for us, and I'm buying a house. Like, I'm excited about this. So I also have other things to be really excited about, but they are not completely finalized yet, so I'm not going to discuss them. I'm going to leave you wondering, and hopefully I'll be back within a week, if I can wait that long, because if I find out sooner, I may have to just give y'all a little shout out. But there's other stuff in the works here pretty soon, and that I want to talk about. So quick video tonight, and I hope everyone's having, excuse me, I hope everyone's having a great stitchy week, and I will see y'all next time.